Hello everyone, welcome to the Kukuli Bushcraft channel. Okay, so the subject of today's video is the Carinthia Defense 6 sleeping bag. So yeah, it's springtime now, so it's quite cold and wet. Is it cold enough to be testing a 6-season sleeping bag? Well, no, but I'm not really testing it. I've had this thing for I think 3-4 winters now. There was one winter I slept in this thing every night, so I'm just basically showing it to you while I've got it out and while I've got time to make a video. Right, so it is going to be below freezing tonight. It's snowing at the moment. The snow's been melting little by little. I'll have a look outside. Aye. There's the wild creature. Yeah, so it's snowing at the moment. I'm trying to melt snow and the pot's getting snowed into and the fire's going out. Let's have a bit more stuff on there. So what's a 6-season sleeping bag? Or a 5-season sleeping bag? Surely there's only 4 seasons. Yeah, well, basically there's lots of seasons. We have different climates in different countries. Here in Lapland, well, coldest temperature we had this winter was minus 44 centigrade. So there's going to be a lot of talking about temperatures. I'll try and convert them, but basically minus 40 is the same in both Fahrenheit and Celsius. So minus 44, that translates as pretty damn brutal. So this temperature, this sleeping bag, what temperatures is it good for? Well, it's got a comfort rating and an extreme rating. I've had this down to minus 20, and I absolutely would not want to take it any lower than that. Yeah, the coldest I've been in it is minus 38, and that was with another sleeping bag on the inside, so I was okay at that temperature with 2 sleeping bags. Yeah, so they say you really shouldn't use 2 sleeping bags because of the inner one getting compressed. It is better to have a quilt above you, extra mats beneath you, and all of that kind of thing. But, you know, you make do with what you've got. And we're in a very messy tarp setup at the moment. So basically the ground's frozen. So I'm tied off to trees. The tarp underneath is weighted down with my stuff in it. But yeah, this is quite a big bulky bag, but for a winter bag, and these are cheap, eh? For a winter sleeping bag. When I say winter, I mean Arctic winter. Yeah, so one strange thing about these things is they zip up the front. Okay, so there's the hood, that closes up nice and tight. Got a zip with a Velcro closure on the outside. One issue I have had is with the zip catching on this. And when you look at the bottom, yeah, there's broken teeth in there. That's not a very good repair, as if you have a broken zip like that, the best thing to do is, I think, to glue the zip together and then sew webbing on the outside of the zip. But yeah, the zip does seem to be a little bit of a weak point. When I say that I use this for a whole winter, I meant literally I was sleeping somewhere that didn't have any heating in temperatures of down to -40. Okay, so we've got some information here. Okay, made in Austria, blah blah blah, blah blah blah. Hand or machine wash. I'm not sure what the other alternative might be. Do not iron. Okay. So you've got this thing here as well that you can fasten up around your neck. So there's just your face poking out. So it is quite effective, but it's not overly bulky. I also have the Snug Pack Antarctica, which is a little bit bulkier, I think a bit warmer, and I think it's a better sleeping bag, and it's cheaper. So I wouldn't recommend this over the Snug Pack Antarctica, but this is still quite a good bit of kit, and it's served me pretty well. It's in slightly ropey condition now, with the zip being a little bit bust. There's some more damage on the zip there as well, so I have to be a little bit careful getting in and out of this. Died. You come inside. Oh God, you're covered. It's snowing. It's snowing on you. I do actually find this thing a little bit restrictive. It's a little bit tight around the chest, and I'm not exactly a big lad either. And also, I kind of would prefer as if the zip was on the side, but maybe that's just what I'm used to. Yeah, so now when it comes to this point, zipping it up is a little bit difficult because it's so tight around the chest. Right, hold up. There we go. Okay, so just enough room for your nose, and I can fasten this up a little bit more on the inside, and yep, well, should be nice and warm tonight. It's probably going to be about -3, -4, so I'll finish getting ready, take me jumper off, put the camera in the sleeping bag so that I don't kill the battery, and good night. I'll speak to you again in the morning. Lots of fresh snow overnight. Uni's been out there guarding against orcs and demons or whatever creatures she thinks are there. Warm enough, definitely. So this is typical of what seems to happen quite a lot with this. Is you see how the fabric, the lining has got caught.
the inside of the zip. So I'm going to have to try and sort that out without forcing it. Yeah, so that seems to happen quite a bit. Just found a random phone in my sleeping bag liner. Sea to Summit sleeping bag liner, this one, by the way. I really like them. They're yeah, nice kind of light fleece material, as if it's warm. Just this will do on its own. Yeah, so I'm putting this back in its stuff sack, and yeah, so being a synthetic bag rather than a down bag, you lose a little bit on you know, on the ability to compress it into a small space. And yeah, lots of loft with down, and also down's really lightweight. I generally prefer synthetic because down loses its loft when it gets wet, and you can still get wet even if it's really cold. You get condensation against your sleeping pad, and you know, I tend to be a sweaty little animal anyway, so you know, I like synthetic. Yeah, everything's got a little bit damp here right now. There's condensation off my breath. I guess it's been maybe dripping a little bit off the tarp, which isn't as tight as it could be because it's not very well set up. It was done in a hurry. It was done without putting any stakes into the ground, which is frozen. So yeah, all of these little things, I prefer synthetic, and yeah, especially as if you use any kind of a bivvy bag, which you shouldn't do when it gets really cold, because the moisture all comes from you. Basically, when it gets cold, all the moisture is frozen in the environment, but you still sweat, you still breathe. Moisture from your body then you know, condenses on any available surface. And pros and cons. Pro, the price is really good. Pretty good value for money for something that's made in Austria, and something that actually works in cold conditions. Negatives, the zip. So recommended use, I'd say between 0 for freezing point and -10 Celsius. Will it go colder than that? Yes, it will. So like I say, with 2 sleeping bags I've been fine, down to nearly -40, which is the same in Celsius and Fahrenheit. And yeah, would I recommend it? I'd recommend trying the Snug Pack Antarctica. I think that's yes, both of them I've had down to -20. Both of them I wouldn't push any further. I think I like the Snug Pack a little bit more, to be honest. But both of them, if you look at the prices of winter sleeping bags, you know, it's it's what I paid for me car. You know, it's yeah, sleeping bag, car. Yeah, well, unlike my car, a good winter sleeping bag will work in minus 40 degrees Celsius. Also, yeah, I don't generally camp out as if it's any colder than that. So, I mean, why? You know, it's, yeah, unless you have to. Right. Well, thank you very much for watching, everyone. Please give us a thumbs up. If you haven't done already, please subscribe. And I'll see you all again soon for another Kookily Bushcraft video. Bye for now.